Ever since the Blue Jays blew a 7-run lead and lost the series versus the Mariners, it seems they have struggled to find an identity. Immediately after, they went scorched earth and traded Gabriel Moreno, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., and Teoscar Hernandez to get better pitching and defensive players. All three of those guys are tearing it up on their new respective teams. This approach is a little ironic considering they kept Bichette, who is not known to have a good glove, up the middle. It seemed like the 2022 playoffs were a fluke until they got upset and swept by the Minnesota Twins in the wild card last season. At the time of this video, the squad is 9-8, but are marred with a lot of underperforming hitters and a few pitchers. The direction of the Jays is a questionable one that could either end in disappointment or a playoff run, depending on the core and roster decisions. This offseason for the Jays was a very interesting one to say the least. There was a point where Shohei Ohtani was rumored to be going to the Blue Jays. Fake Twitter reporters tracked a private jet that flew from LA to Toronto thinking it was a lock for Ohtani to sign there. In reality, it was just Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank. So the Blue Jays fans got disappointed again after another tough first-round exit. While they didn't get Ohtani, they signed Joey Votto and Daniel Vogelbach to minor league deals, Yariel Rodriguez for 5-year $32 million, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa for 2 years $15 million, Justin Turner and Kevin Kiermaier each for 1 year at $13 million and $10.5 million. IKF is just the Walmart version of Ohtani. This year he's batting .283 and at the time of this video has a 0 ERA and 1 appearance. Who says they needed Ohtani in the first place? All jokes aside, Yariel Rodriguez, I'm a big fan of him. He's a pitcher out of Cuba. I wanted the Sox to sign him, but that just never ended up happening. So far, he's been pretty good in one game that he's played for the Jays, but I think he's going to be a guy who'll be good for a few years. So that was a good signing, in my opinion. Anyways, they had a few losses from guys who didn't re-sign in Matt Chapman, Jordan Hicks, Hyung-Jin Ryu, Whit Merrifield, Adam Simber, and Brandon Belt. They also questionably traded away 2022 All-Star Santiago Espinal for a 23-year-old minor leaguer named Chris McElvain, who didn't even make the team's top 30 prospect list. So I'm not really sure where the value comes in that trade. I feel like you could have got something better than that. It's just bad trade. While I think the team is still pretty solid, I think they are worse than they were last year. A lot of questionable moves in an offseason that just did not play into their favor. The offense at this point has not been very great, ranking 21st in runs scored, 26th in homers, 23rd in average, but at least they're middle of the pack in strikeouts and on-base percentage. That tells me they're not chasing too much, they're taking their pitches. It's just a matter of time till some of the bats heat up. The only players who are really performing right now are Kevin Biggio, IKF, Davis Schneider, and Justin Turner, who is red hot this year. This isn't good when you have a core of Vladdy Jr., George Springer, Dalton Varsho, Alejandro Kirk, and Bo Bichette, all underperforming. All of these guys I just named are batting under 220, and Varsho and Vladdy are batting exactly 188. The thing is, they still are a game above 500 despite the hitting woes. A lot of these guys have started off not so hot, but I'm not alarmed. If they could stay winning games despite offensive slumps, they'll be in a good place when those slumps end. All I know is Dalton Varsho might need to sit on the bench in favor of Davis Schneider. Schneider's playing great. He also does play second base, but he also plays left field. But the thing is, Kevin Biggio's hitting over 300, playing great this year. So I think Varsho's what you got to do, especially when the guy's hitting 188. In my opinion, yeah, he had an all-right year last year, but Varsho's just been a big disappointment considering who they gave away. They gave away Gurriel Jr. and Gabriel Moreno for Varsho. I don't really see it. That was just a big loss by the Jays. But in the end, we all know what this offense is capable of. I expect them to get out of the slump and improve to at least a top 15 producing squad. The pitching follows the trend the offense set. The top pitchers, Kevin Gausman and Chris Bassett, have not been performing so great, but other guys like Jose Barrios and Yusei Kikuchi have stepped up. First and foremost, Kevin Gausman is awesome, and he's going to figure it out. It's just an early slump, that's all. The guy has been so consistent for so many years in a row, he's a good ball player. His 11.57 ERA in 9.1 innings, that's just a bad start. We all know he's better than that, like I said. But the thing is, in 25 innings, Jose Barrios is pitching to a 1.05 ERA to start the year, and he could be a huge piece to this staff that has had its struggles early on. The staff ranks 23rd with a team ERA of 4.68. They have been a weird staff in regards to ERA. Half the staff has a 3 and below ERA, and the other half has a 5 and above. Then there's Chris Bassett, who has a 4.03, who's stuck in like the purgatory of it. So it's weird to me because half of these guys are absolutely dominating, and then the other half are just getting shelled and sucking. So there's really no like guys who are in that like 3 to 4 range. It's all like sub 3 or 5 up. It's really weird. If the staff can get it going, all will be well. But it is also worth noting, they have the number 27 prospect in all of baseball with left-hand pitcher Ricky Tiedemann. He should come up this season to bolster the staff. He's struggling so far early in the minors, but it's too early to say he's not ready, considering he has been good at every level at some point in his minor league career. The Blue Jays are operating on a lot of questions such as what if? What if the pitching improves? What if the offense improves? What if the star players don't figure it out? Who's going to step up? Your guess is as good as mine as when the Blue Jays figure it out, because it's going to happen at some point. It's just a matter of when. All I gotta say is being 9-8 at this point, despite such poor play from most of the team, it's kind of impressive. Especially in a tough AL East division, they are staying afloat. Now, I don't think there's really any chance that they win the AL East, considering how good the Yankees and the Orioles are. But I do see a path to the playoffs where they either take the second or the third wildcard spot. I can see October baseball being played in Toronto. It just really matters if the core players and the star players really figure it out, because as of right now, if this team stays how they are, I don't really see a chance. Anyways, go ahead and comment your thoughts on the Blue Jays roster. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys later.